He is Richard Greene, the civics dean. And I'm excited. I've known Richard for many years, and you have seen Richard, I'm sure, through the many years. You've been a political commentator on network shows talking about politics. You also really carved out this place where you speak about communication and messaging, and that is so important, particularly to the left, who I think have lost that
We
battle.
suck at it.
Yeah. Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, seriously, it's beyond me, because here's the bottom line. I've searched for 2 years. So I used to be a fellow for the Constitutional Rights Foundation when I was in law school. I've run for Congress. I love politics and I love civics. We don't teach civics anymore. So when you really dive into it, you go, a lot of my friends, even some Hollywood celebrities here in town go, oh, both the parties are the same, all politicians suck, they all take money from Wall Street, they're all corrupt, they're only interested in their own re-election, all of that. Some of that may be true, but when you go through the pieces of legislation that the Democratic Party proposes and sponsors and the Republican Party does, it's night and day. When we were younger, the parties used to be more the same in the middle, but now it's, if you want to fight climate change and have renewable energy and renewable energy jobs, you have to vote for Democrats. If you want a wall, you have to vote for Republicans. If you want to get money out of politics, which everyone seems to, you have to vote for Democrats. If you don't, you have to vote for Republicans. So it's that simple, and there's not one thing in terms of branding, which is why it's such political malpractice for the Democrats. Every single thing, Mark, that the majority of America wants can only happen if you elect Democrats. And I'm saying that in a nonpartisan way. You just have to look at the bills that are sponsored and co-sponsored in the House and the Senate and across the country.
And we can get into this. This is part of a much longer conversation. And I want to talk about this book, which Richard has. It's downloadable and it's free. And it's really innovative and cool. But I don't want to let it go that money in politics, I feel, isn't the exclusive area of the Republicans. I think the Democrats are swimming in it as well. So,
but there's a big difference, and this is a mistake that we make between, oh, he takes PAC money or he takes Wall Street money. Republicans take the money and they totally do what their donors want them to do. Democrats don't. They say, okay, fine, we'll have a conversation with you, come to my fundraiser. And I think Democrats shoot themselves in the foot by kicking away all these really pretty darn good Democrats who somehow take PAC money. But the point is, only Democrats sponsor bills to get money out of politics. I'm gonna say it again, only Democrats, and the vast majority of them do.
Yeah, and look, that is certainly true. And I do think as well that we have a purity test on the left, which they don't have on the right. They drop into line and they march and they win.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry, please.
No, please.
No, I was just saying that, so I just wish we get rid of this purity test on the left.
I went to Florida, St. Augustine, because Bill Nelson, who's running for Senate there, is a really great guy. He's not the most exciting person in the world, but he's a really great guy. So I went there to help, and I was speaking at Flagler College. And there was a guy in the dinner with the student leaders who goes, no, but Joe Manchin has to vote against Brett Kavanaugh, and he has to be a progressive. And I said, that purity, it's like, it's West Virginia.
Exactly.
We're not gonna get that. We're not going to have a Bernie Sanders candidate in every place.
His vote was never in doubt.
We got to move in that direction.
Yeah. So now to your book. What would happen if every young person voted? You have a list of things. You say big money would be largely out of politics. You say that guns would largely be
common sense gun laws.
Common sense gun laws.
We'd be fighting climate change. We'd have legalized marijuana.
Quality health care.
We had equal pay for women. We'd have everything that young people want. But guess what? It doesn't happen. You know why? Because they don't vote. So why, as a politician, are you going to pay attention to a constituency that in 2014, in the last midterms, 18-year-olds voted, what would you think, 16% of the time? It's like, it's a non-entity. So you have to vote. And we're doing a few things. So I wrote the book because what I realized was that people don't vote for a number of reasons, but the main thing is they don't understand the midterm elections. The midterm elections are even more important in so many ways than the presidential. For example, 36 governors out of 50 are on the ballot on November 6th. Only 11 are on the ballot in the 2020 presidential, and so many other things. And the other thing is They don't understand what we talked about before, that there is a massive difference between the parties. Massive. Whatever you want as a typical young person, you can only have that happen in your America if you vote for Democrats. And I think the biggest issue, though, is the check on Donald Trump. Because it's been reported very widely that he is going to fire a number of people and replace them with loyalists, right? He's going to fire Jeff Sessions. He's going to fire James Mattis. And here's the danger with James Mattis. I mean, this is the most important part of the whole thing. Imagine if the guy who stands between Donald Trump and the nuclear and a launch of nuclear weapons, that is the Secretary of Defense, is someone that Donald Trump is in the pocket of Donald Trump. But whatever you say, Mr. President, fine. Let's
somebody from Fox and Friends or something.
Exactly. Let's bomb Russia or let's bomb Iran. So only by voting for senators who are up, and it's a tough map, right? Only by taking back the Senate do you have Chuck Schumer being the Senate Majority Leader going to Donald Trump saying, no, we're not going to let you appoint that person. We're going to reject your nominee. Not only for Defense Secretary, not only for Attorney General, but also we're going to reject your attempt to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg if, God forbid, she gets sick and has to leave the court or dies, with another Brett Kavanaugh. So for me, the Senate, even though it's really tough,
Senate's a tough target, though,
is the most important thing.
I mean, the Senate's a tough flip, isn't it?
Well, if people who are inspired by Beto, especially Hispanics and black people and young people, actually voted at a 40 or 45 or 50% rate, we would win Texas.
So to your book, which talks about 10 easy steps to change the world on November 6th, and again, the book is called WTF Are the Midterms. There it is. And you can get it at WTFarethemidterms.com. And as I said, you can download it. It's free. So the 10 easy steps to change the world. Voting is the first step, it sounds like. Or is voting further down the way?
Right. So I go through the 10 different things that you can do in the midterm elections. Okay. For example, you can get rid of the Electoral College. We can get rid of the Electoral College in the 2018 midterms.
These are all things that could happen by voting and participating
by voting for state legislators in the various states who would then agree to pass the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact, which is really cool. We can do that. We're only 98 votes away. So there's so much that can be done. And another thing I want people to do, when I was down in Florida, I was working with someone who was the class president of the March for Our Lives, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas senior class. And we had her, she went and she early voted, and she had her voting sticker on there that said, I voted. And she was really proud. She's 19, it was the first vote she'd ever done. And she posted with hashtag #WhyIVoted2018, an ice bucket challenge. It's like, hey, I voted, it was really cool. I voted for common sense gun laws, and I challenged the following people to do that. What if we did that? What if we made it viral and fun? So I'm encouraging people to do that. Hashtag #WhyIVoted2018 or #WhyIWillVote2018. And let's get that going viral. I mean, with social media and young people so predominantly favoring Democrats in the House and the Senate, if we got people to get whipped up, and certainly David Hogg and Emma Gonzalez and the March for Our Lives people have done that, but now it's our turn. It's our turn on November 6th. So if we did everything we could to use and leverage social media, I honestly think we could take back the House and also the Senate.
Wow, it's so great to hear that. I hope that there is a ring of truth to it. I mean, you are out there a lot, so I take what you say very seriously. Do you see out there that there is you mentioned David Hogg, and you mentioned these issues that are affecting young people and first-time voters. Are you feeling that? Is there that energy? Are you seeing it?
I'm feeling the energy, and certainly I saw Andrew Gillum speak when I was at Florida University.
He's a great stumper.
Wow, we need that kind of energy. So it does exist, but it always comes down to that kind of critical life decision that you make when it's during the day on November 6th, and you go, oh, you know what, my vote really doesn't count. I'm just gonna hang in. My candidate's gonna lose, or my candidate's gonna win. That is the thing. I think it is a sacred obligation to vote. I don't know, you probably vote all the time.
No, of course. I try to vote as many times every election as they'll let me. But they'll only let me the one time.
And given who you are. Yeah. By the way, you know what's on the ballot as well? Because you and I are big animal lovers, and you're the person who, and I hate you for this, you made me go vegan after being vegetarian for a long time.
Wow,
he's a
cool.
dedicated vegan. Yeah. Baby bears are on the ballot.
You're talking about with, and where is that? You're not in California.
No, nationally. One of the first things that Donald Trump and the Republicans did in the United States Congress is they overturned a Barack Obama regulation which said that on federal lands in Alaska, you could not walk up to dens of sleeping baby bears hibernating with their mothers and fathers and take an AR-15 and shoot them all dead. That somehow seemed cruel to Barack Obama. When the Republicans came in and Donald Trump came in, they overturned that. And guess how many Republicans voted to overturn that, to allow hunters to kill baby bears sleeping in their dens with their mothers and fathers? Every single Republican running for Senate.
That's just despicable.
And every single Democrat voted against it. Anyway, there's a lot to vote for.
That's an easy one. There are a lot of other easy ones. I mean, just in a way, that sleeping bear thing is a good way to finish because it's, you look at it and you go, well, they're allowed to go up to hibernating bears and just kill the whole family. That is what, in essence, is the legislative agenda of so much that's before Congress. And so, in other words, not tough calls.
There is a major difference in values and policies between the parties. You might think the DNC and the Democrats suck, but the difference is unbelievable. It's night and day. We can only get to where everyone who watches the Young Turks wants to go if we vote for Democrats in every single race.
The book is WTF Are the Midterms? 10 Easy Steps to Change the World on November 6th. Richard Greene, so love having the Civics Dean in our presence. Great seeing you, my friend. All right.
Thanks for watching this free clip of Rebel Headquarters. Don't forget to become a TYT member today for more exclusive content. Join now at tyt.com/join.